Hey, James with Love My Pups. Q&A session. Al Rod says, nice dog. I was looking at one of my dogs from a long time ago. It's actually Kiki, I think. So that was a blue and tan. No, that is a lilac and tan. So this guy says, Rod says, I'd like a lilac and tan. What was something like this run for? And so there's a reply in here, and Mitchy Slick says 45 to 6,500 bucks. Yeah, I mean, I think that for a lilac and tan, they're a nice, small, really nice structured dog. You're at the lower end of the market, certainly for what we'd be selling. But it's certainly possible to buy dogs for that kind of price. For us, a really pretty small cobby, which that dog is, lilac and tan with full points, that dog carried cream. I think that dog probably closer to, for us, it would be closer to probably 9,000, maybe a bit more than that. My dog has 6 puppies on her first litter. Her mum had litters of up to 11 pups. Can dogs inherit certain traits from their parents? Well, I mean, of course they do get traits from their parents. That's what DNA does. So you know, you can look at your brothers and sisters and you can see the similarity between them and your parents. Those traits are handed down through DNA. If you're asking about the litter size, which I think maybe is what you're alluding to here, certainly there's some anecdotal evidence that says a puppy that comes from a big litter is likely to be capable of having a big litter itself. So the problem with this is that puppies come from small litters. They could have had a small litter because the timing was wrong, or the semen quality was wrong, or the AI was done wrong. So it's not particularly helpful on small puppies. But certainly, you know, if they came from a litter of 10, 12 puppies, then there's a very good chance they're capable of producing that themselves, because there probably is an inherited link. Let's see here. Freddie Kuba says, happy Thanksgiving. I input my dog into the Frenchy coat color calculator, and it says that I'll have 33% fluffy cocoa merles and 33% fluffy carrier cocoa merles. You didn't tell us what the other 33% is, so that's kind of a weird combination there, because, yeah, anyway, so what does that look like? Well, you don't tell me anything about color here, so I mean, a cocoa merle is going to be a dog that has patches of chocolate on a kind of a grayer background, and it'll have long hair. And the fluffy carriers will have a regular coat, and same color. Canier Bam says, how long does it take for puppy to poop after mother stimulation? Normally right away. So normally, if a puppy doesn't poop right after you've done stimulation, it's probably not going to poop for a bit. So normally when you start stimulating a puppy, it starts peeing immediately. And then very quickly, and I mean very quickly, within 30 seconds after that or a minute, it starts to poop. So they don't have much control over their bowels. They're just going to poop when they're ready. If that method's not working and the puppy hasn't pooped in a while and it's getting an extended and bloated and hard tummy, give it an enema. Breeding 2 blue fawn carries non-testable chocolate and, okay, non-testable chocolates and capital EM little e, that's a cream carrier, AYAT. Both dogs have the exact same DNA. DNA color says 6% chance of platinum. Right, so what's going on here is, if you think about this, all right, so you've got one copy of non-testable chocolates, so actually we're trying to produce not platinums but Isabellas. But if you had a dog that's blue with one copy of chocolate and one copy of cream, then what would be so to get a platinum, every dog's got to throw out the chocolate gene. Every dog throws out the blue gene because the little d dog. So we know we're going to get that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Every dog's getting the blue gene. So the question here is, what does it take to make a platinum? Well, to make a platinum, you've got to have you've got to have 2 copies of chocolate and 2 copies of cream, along with 2 copies of blue. So the blue's already taken care of. Both dogs have a single copy of the other 2 colors. So that means that they will give that color out half the time. So that means that you've got to have half times 4 for this to happen, because you've got to have 2 copies of chocolates, a half by half, and 2 copies of cream, which is a half by half again. So that's a half by a half by a half by a half. So that is 1/16. So you'd expect to have 1/16 of these dogs to be platinums. Actually, it's not, I don't know if that works out to 6% or not, but it'd be 1/16. So it's going to be close to that, isn't it? I have a question. Can you breed sister to her brother? They both have the same dad but different mums. I wouldn't do it. Not in the world. Would never do it. No. I mean, if you're a Showtime breeder and you're trying to produce a particular trait and there's an argument that you're prepared to accept some problems, then maybe you'd go ahead and do that. But I'm not trying to get that done, and I would not do that breeding. And the reason is that you've got rid of half of the genetic diversity immediately, because they've got common dads. So you've lost 1/2 of the whole genetic diversity has been lost right away. It's not a good situation to be in. Bosky says 3 days ago, says my dog was a 5.2 yesterday at day 8 of bleeding. If I wait till Saturday, you don't tell me what day, I don't know what day Saturday is, so I can tell you this, a dog that's 5.2 on day 8, pretty normal kind of a situation, because day 9 is typically ovulation, and that's on the 5, so you're about the same place. I'd be breeding that dog in 2 days, or at least testing to make sure the numbers are 15. So vaginal, you do 2 days later. So that was 3 days ago, so you should have already bred that dog. Susan Brocksmith, a bit off the normal topic. Got 4 intact females and a neutered male. I've made monsters, which is a smiley face. They all have fun running around my home. She's home 24/7, and they all sleep in bed with me. Now that they're adults, I have squabbles and fights, mainly when hubby comes home. Please tell me what your protocol is in your home with your females. Are they rotated through the day to be out to play and in the crate to rest? I need to break the cycle up before pregnancies. All right, so what we do is that our dogs are not roaming. So a lot of people have got dogs that are roaming free in the house, and great, wonderful, the dogs. Not necessarily good for the furniture and floors and poop and pee and everything else. So that's the reason we don't do that. It's because I can't trust the dogs to behave themselves if they're not under our supervision. So they're not in crates. We've got these kind of rolly round cages that are pretty decent size. And they're in there unless they're with us, and we let them all out at the same time. So it's a few times a day. First thing we get up, last thing before we go to bed, and a couple more times during the day, they're let outside to just run amok. And we've got 20 acres, and we don't let them get too far away, and they certainly will. We need to be hollering at them. And I mean, in fact, we had an instance here a couple of weeks ago where one of our dogs got attacked by a hawk, and it was actually late in the evening. It was dark outside. The dogs were by the front door wanting to get in, and I could see they were acting a bit differently because they were kind of acting skittish. And then I saw one of the dogs who got blood down both sides of its back, and it got pretty nasty wounds right on its haunches and behind its neck, where presumably a hawk had come down and tried to pick the dog up and hadn't succeeded. Thank God. But anyway, it was that was Kit that had that happen to her, and she survived the thing fine, and she's fine going outside now. But the point here is that we let our dogs outside under supervision. If you've got a fenced backyard and you live in town, hawks aren't going to get you, are they? Just want to make sure that you don't have a dog that's in heat and a dog next door burrows under the fence and gets your dog bred, because that has happened to many of my customers over the years. You know, the squabbling, you know, there's going to be an alpha dog, and then somebody's going to be in heat and somebody's going to get upset. I mean, you're going to have some of this. So I don't have any real answers for you and any definitive solutions that I can give you on this as to how to get dogs to get along with each other, especially as they come into heat. It can be a challenge sometimes. So, well, there we go. It's 10 minutes of your time wasted. Thanks for watching. Bye. Thanks for watching the video. I really appreciate people who subscribe to me. It helps me, encourage me to do more of these videos. But do remember, disclaimer here, I am not a vet.
I'm not a licensed medical professional. I'm purely a person who's been breeding dogs for the last couple of decades. Any information that you got from this video, use at your own risk. There's nothing implied here, and certainly this should not be used as a substitute for advice from your veterinarian or your medical professional. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back for more of them. Bye.